Are you like many women, including myself? Are you doing everything right but still can't lose weight or gain muscle? I'm Nancy Danino, women's health expert for women over 40 and helping them ditch that midlife and get strong and sexy. The big M word, the onset of menopause or perimenopause is a real thing. And I know a lot of people underestimate it or tell you just to accept it, but there's things that we can do. And the problem is that think about this. Menopause really just triggers weight gain that nearly 1 in 2 women, that's 43%, become overweight or obese during this period. And many women all of a sudden start thinking, oh my God, what's happening to my body? And they start changing diets, going to the extreme, counting calories, and exercising more. And then there's others that, try and seek out other alternatives, or there's desperation thinking, where do I go? But when it comes to changing your body, building lean muscle, losing fat during that menopausal stage, there's a different path we have to take, and your efforts will have to be a little bit different. So, and according to a lot of research experts, it's not because women are doing something wrong, it's because that the path is different, but they think that they're not trying them hard enough, or they're failing at what they normally do. But we have to think about hormones, and it's not just about estrogen and progesterone that fluctuate during this period. There's a whole synergy of hormones that we have to consider that are overlooked during this time, including testosterone and DHEA, stress hormones that all cause fatigue, joint pain, low libido, and brain fog, and yes, that weight gain. And all of a sudden, this unexplained weight comes into play, and you're like, what is happening? And all you want to do is rebalance. You want to get back, you want to feel better, you want to get your body back. But it's really important to understand, now listen to this, is that eating less and moving more is no longer what works during menopause. In fact, it can work against you. And because the changes that we talked about are starting to happen as you transition into this phase, then those things actually start to put to a halt and you end up feeling worse. And because there's a rapid decrease of estrogen, this causes imbalances, and your progesterone follows, your testosterone drops. And again, they all work in synergy, but then that causes the metabolism to slow down. You burn fewer calories, and your insulin resistance ramps up, and it provides and promotes fat storage. Yes, that's the fat, the stubborn fat you can't get rid of. And so the levels of those appetite hormones surge. We talk about leptin and ghrelin, and they increase your hunger to 7 and 8. But it's not actually just the weight that creeps up. It's frustrating to women for so much. And it's just been explained that the distribution of fat, once the estrogen falls, that distribution of fat circulates in the body, and instead of getting absorbed in other ways, it eventually just gets stored in the belly. And that's why a lot of women have that belly roll or the meno-belly that we talk about. And it's that belly fat that's the visceral, that hidden fat that poses the serious health risks. And so it's not just about, shifting what you're doing or, what you're doing, but it's what's giving you that hourglass, or that pear-shaped, I should say, during that phase. So when these hormones are on the decline, you have to consider how you train and how you eat from a different perspective. More is not better. And there's also, if you go to a doctor, I know that they won't always tell you this, but you have to go to a doctor that will be open to functional medicine, integrative medicine, and combining that with science, so that they can look at your hormone levels from an optimal level to give you the result that you need, feel good again, and start to replace those declining hormones with BHRT, which is bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. And all that does is restoring the hormones that our body naturally produces so that you can feel good and you're not having those symptoms of hot flashes and night sweats and mood swings and, that weight gain. And I went through it in my 40s. It was the worst time of my life. feeling frustrated because nobody had answers for me. And I had to go on my own mission to be able to find out what I needed to do after 45 and 50 to be able to feel good again, get my result, and have hope that I could still be strong and lean and not have to live lesser or feel like I was aging or listen to these doctors that were like, oh, just accept it. We don't have to accept it. There are solutions. And that's why I created my coaching program, the Strong and Sexy Blueprint, where we optimize hormones, and you have to really fix what's happening on the inside before you can fix what's happening on the outside. So if you're not having a clear gut and fixing those hormones, then trying to lose fat or building muscle is going to always be difficult. So think about that. Think about what you need to do and what that path is to move forward, and seek the advice of a professional so that you can get unstuck and feel energized again, feel yourself. And believe me, your second act can be better than your first. This is Nancy Danino, the women's health expert for women over 40. Make sure you subscribe and like this video.